What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy here on Better Sports Network. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my styling and profiling co-hosts, John Lou Garofalo and Joey Wright. And joining us today is sandwich aficionado and fantasy football analyst over at DLF and JWB. We've got Mike Faiella with us, a.k.a. Daddy's Home FF on Twitter. Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, man, always a blast. Love joining y'all. I just saw in the chat this is my 5th appearance. That seems crazy. I mean, luckily JL missed the first 4, which were really enjoyable. So, I mean, this one's going to be a little worse, but that's okay. We'll make it work.
I wanted to go for the full sweep, but they wouldn't let me take the show.
I wish they had, honestly. I hate your face, and I wish you weren't here.
We always talk about Joey's payment coming in peanuts, but what we don't mention is that JL and I also receive a peanut stipend. And he had missed the maximum amount of shows he could miss for a certain guest before that stipend was affected. And Jail's a hungry boy for some peanuts on a Thursday.
Math comes at you fast.
Math comes at you fast. As Mike mentioned, we got some people in the chat ready for today's show, including our chat historian, Mike, here for his 5th FYF appearance, and letting Grim fan know, who's always asking for the sandwiches category on Jeopardy, that today is his best shot at talking about sandwiches. Mike, you know, we made that category because you were coming on the show for Jeopardy, and Grim fan in the chat has every single Jeopardy show since asked for more sandwiches. You have a sandwich follower in the chat, and Grim fan.
Love it, Grim fan. I mean, it is by far the best category you guys put up there. Like, there is no close second, except when JL's on and starts throwing out his trash takes. But for the most part, I mean, it's a great category, and people know what they love, which is portable food. Sandwiches, tacos, and dumplings. If food came in just those 3 forms, the world would be a better place. We wouldn't need utensils. It's a waste. It's a waste of resources.
I love that take. The amount of things I just put in a tortilla so I can pick it up and eat it is way too high. Like mac and cheese. I can't remember the last time I ate macaroni and cheese at my house with a spoon. It's going in a tortilla so that it can just be portable with like a taco.
Genius. Listen, that's all you need to do.
Pick better heroes.
We got Dustin in the chat stopping by saying, I'll be driving to the Detroit Green Bay game, but hashtag Team Joey. Have fun, Dustin. I'm jealous. That should be a fun one. We got one of our favorite Canadians in the chat. Toronto, Dave stopping by and hyped to see Mike on the screen. And also, I see some questions from Grim fan. We talk about him and he shows up. Let's go and hit these before the game starts. Grim wants to know Pacheco or Connor this week in full PPR. Mike, if you had to decide between those two guys, who are you starting?
Connor by a large margin. I mean, you look at what he did last week against a really stout Dallas defense. Right now, James Conner is a must start in all formats. There is no way that I could get away from James Conner and my love for him. I made the mistake of fading him last week and will not make that mistake again. Wheels up, James Conner. He is in my top 12 this week.
Even in the tough matchup against the 49ers, Mike going confidently James Conner. Joey, are you agreeing with him? The Chiefs and Pacheco don't have necessarily an easy matchup either going up against that New York Jets defense.
No, I've got James Conner 2 spots ahead of Pacheco right now. I'm a little more scared of the matchup. I don't have him in my top 12. I got him in my top 22. So he's 21st in my rankings. But the talent, he's been there all season. So I understand playing him above Pacheco, which, you know, we saw Jerick McKinnon get involved last week and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It seems like there's a bit of a timeshare there in Kansas City. So I'll go with Connor.
You can just start Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. That's it. Good luck elsewhere. John Luke, are you going?
Thinking other people are going to be involved? Like, why?
Because that offense is so much fun. We have to hope every year that someone's going to do it. John Luke, are you agreeing here with these two guys? Would you be throwing in Connor over Pacheco?
I think it's close. I think it's a very close call. The thing that worries me with Connor this week is the 49ers defense. So I'd be willing to throw a start to Pacheco this week.
It's the 49ers defense and the fact that Vegas has the Cardinals as 14-point dogs in this game. That doesn't sound like a very run-friendly game script. But like you said, Mike, we saw the Cardinals do some work against the Cowboys last week, so they were not down like we expected. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Connor definitely feels safer, though. JL, I'm going to throw this one to you first. Grim had one more question for us. Wanted to know, can you feel comfortable starting Waddle at Buffalo entering back into the lineup from concussion protocol this week?
Oh, yeah. Load them up.
Mike, you agree with John Luke here?
Wheels up. Have to start Waddle.
If you got Waddle on your team and you've been waiting to get him in after he was out last week, plug him right back in there. Guys, we're going to keep on answering your questions throughout today's show today, but good news, if we do not get to your question right after this on the Front Yard Fantasy YouTube channel, we are going to be live for fantasy football office hours. So if you're on our channel right now and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell. And in case you forget throughout the show, it'll remind you right when we go live. Before we get into our draft, a couple other reminders. First and foremost, if you're not following our friend Mike, fix it now. You can find him on Twitter at Daddy's Home FF. Not only are you going to get some of the best fantasy and sandwich takes in the industry, but Mike's pretty funny too. And you'll find that out if you're following him on Twitter. After you do that, head on back over here. Like I mentioned, hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, you'd miss something awesome like a zombie apocalypse NFL draft, hypothetically. Oh, wait, that's what we're doing today. Mike told me earlier that he has been studying and prepping and getting his draft list ready. I'm so excited. I've been going through old zombie movies. Like, okay, what are the kinds of people that make it through zombie movies and trying to piece them into NFL players. But we'll see how this goes. JL, are you ready?
Nope.
Nope.
Zombie apocalypse, though. I'll be able to piece this together.
I just know I am screwed in the case of a zombie apocalypse. I just need to surround myself with people that are going to make sure I survive because I don't like my chances.
And we're going to play board games with the zombies?
No, I'm just going to run.
That was a really good specific bird, JL. I like that. That was good.
All right, well, guys, we're going to get into this draft here. We determined the order beforehand. Joey's got the first pick. JL has pick number 2. Mike, you got pick number 3 here, and then I will be rounding us out on the turn. This will be snake draft style. We're drafting 5 players. Unless we got a little bit of extra time, we might draft some more that we think will help us survive the zombie apocalypse. This is your crew. The world descends into apocalypse tomorrow. This is the squad that is staying together, trying to stay alive, weather this storm, create a new society, whatever you think you got to do to make it. Before we get into that, let's hit one more of these questions. Joey, give you a little bit more time to ponder what that first overall pick is going to be. Cameron B needs help finding a flex and an RB2 for this week on their roster. They've got Javonte Williams, Brian Robinson Jr., Drake London, Elijah Moore, Zay Jones, and Marvin Mims Jr. Joey, you got to start one running back and then one flex, an additional player. Who would you be starting?
I love the matchup for Javonte Williams this week and both Denver Broncos running backs, but mainly just Javonte Williams because he's the only one that's shown us that he's worth a damn this season. So I would start him, Javonte Williams. And as far as the wide receiver, or would it be a flex? I'll still, you know what? I really feel like yesterday FYF got behind this London narrative, and I do want to push that. I do like London the most out of these options, and I feel like if he's going to get started any week, let's get him started in what I assume is his hometown.
I'm with you, Joey. Give me London in the home game in London with Javonte Williams. Mike, which way you rolling?
So Javonte is definitely the top pick. The only team that stops the run worse than the Chicago Bears is Javonte's own team, and unfortunately he can't play them. So you have to love the fact that he has that sweet, sweet matchup. I'm actually going to go B-Rob on this one. I don't love any of the other options, and there's no way I can double tap the Denver Broncos as much as I want it to be Marvin Mims. I can't rely on 2 Denver Broncos. That makes me nauseous. London would have been my backup pick, but I'm going to go with the guaranteed opportunity that Robinson's getting as opposed to the potential upside of London. But I'll put a caveat on that, Cameron. If you need a big point, like look at your opponent. If you need a home run, then London is the pick. But if you think it's a close matchup, coin flip type play, take the guaranteed points in Brian Robinson, in my opinion.
John Luke, you sticking with the players we've mentioned thus far? Or is there a different name jumping out at you?
No, I'm sticking exactly with those players you guys mentioned, the Javonte Williams, and I'd go London with you guys.
Throw London out there. One more question from Jerry in here. We got some Javonte Williams questions today. Wants to know Javonte Williams or Gibbs PPR. Mike, are you sticking with Javonte Williams here or going with Gibbs tonight against Green Bay?
Man, if Monty was going to be out again, I would have stuck with Gibbs, but I'm going to go Javonte Williams just based on the fact that we've seen what Dan Campbell does with his running backs when he has the plotter healthy. So I'm afraid that you're going to need a big explosive play from Gibbs tonight to make him useful. I think you're going to go back to that split we saw in game 1, which is unfortunate. It shouldn't be that way, but give me Javonte's matchup over the potential of a splash play from Gibbs.
Joey or Jail, you think this is tough? Do you have do you lean a different way, or are these guys coin flip for you?
They're very close. I think I lean at Gibbs. And the reason is that I think it's the way that game is going to go between Green Bay and Detroit tonight. But Javonte Williams' matchup against Chicago is super enticing. Mike is right about that. So I'm tempted to throw Javonte Williams in there, but I'd lean Gibbs.
God, it's two of the most enticing things. Bears running defense versus getting a player in on Thursday night, right? Like you just want that Thursday night player in your lineup. You want the running backs against the Bears. Joey, are you sticking with the good matchup Javonte has or rolling Gibbs here?
They're back-to-back in my rankings. And I've said that a couple times. It's like our guests are going to our rankings. I have Gibbs a spot ahead of Williams. But I have Montgomery ranked higher than Gibbs. Like it's really tough with Montgomery coming back to see what it looks like. I'll still go Gibbs though.
Man, it sounds like it's very close.
It's really tough
for all you guys here. We got Matt stopping in the chat saying JL has this draft in
my
the
man
bag. Toronto Dave with the hashtag JWB in here. And Craig wants to know how many hours are office hours for? One, give or take half an hour, mostly take. It's half an hour.
Office half an hour.
Office half an hour.
We're changing the name. Office half an hour.
Office hours, 0.5 of them to be exact. Joey, you are up in the zombie apocalypse NFL draft. First pick. The clock has started. It's an unlimited time.
My guy.
Don't take advantage of that.
Do we really have a clock?
Yeah, it's in my head. It's so whenever I decide you've taken too long, I'll just put in Rodrigo Blankenship as your pick.
Perfect. I would not draft him in this, although he does have nice glasses. I think I would survive a zombie apocalypse. I've seen enough zombie movies. I know how to combat all many types of zombies. And the one thing you need more than anything is a good leader that's got a good head on his shoulders that is going to guide you in the correct way. And so I'm basing my sole decision off of one clip of Hard Knocks about 4 years ago when the Rams were on Hard Knocks with Sean McVay. And they were asking him plays that happened like 10, 12 seasons ago for teams he's not even coaching anymore. And he was able to tell you the play, the time, who got the touchdown, what have you. I need a mind like Sean McVay to lead my group of hooligans I'm putting together here to get them through the zombie apocalypse. So my first pick is going to be Sean McVay.
Sean McVay. Now, Sean McVay from 4 years ago, or the Sean McVay that called the
I'll
game
take
on
him
Monday
right now.
night?
His mind has not changed.
That play calling on Monday night looked a little rough there at the end of the game for the Rams. No, but Joey,
I see where all the areas are in the neighborhoods to hide if we need to. He'll know where the supplies are. Like I need his brain.
Now, are you going to him or are you bringing him to you? Like, are you going to his home turf? Are you flying out to LA? Is that your home base?
Already got it. He's already got it set up.
He's got every single map loaded in his brain.
Yeah, like we're going to McVay's house.
he just knows Orlando.
Joey didn't just draft Sean McVay. He drafted Sean McVay's home as well. The headquarters, the home base. Well, Joey's got his leader. And I thought you were going to say you were the leader. And that's why you opened with, I watch a lot of zombie movies.
No, that'd be really cocky if I drafted myself. I'm not in the NFL right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
You just add yet on everything. Well, Sean McVay off the board, Jail. I don't know if he was on your list, but you are up on the clock now.
He was not on my list, not with a voice like that. Joey, what position would you play if you were in the NFL?
If I was in the NFL, I would play backup quarterback, of course. I'd hold the clipboard. I'd have a nice haircut. That'd be great.
Now, would you be the kind of backup quarterback that comes in and has like the Ryan Fitzpatrick game, the Mike White game, and everybody falls in love with, or the one that comes in and people are just like, oh, he's doing his best. They rarely hate the backup quarterback. They're just like, can't wait till the starter comes back.
I would be a lot like Geno Smith. That's what I'd be like, because I would be under center, ball would snap to me, and I would go, oh my God, every time. That would be me as a quarterback.
Each and every time. Well, John Luke, you're on the clock here. Everybody related to the NFL except for Sean McVay is available. So really you have a lot of options.
You done goof, Joey. Because I'm taking the 101 here with Gardner Minshew. That guy, there is not a single person I trust more to get me through a zombie apocalypse than Gardner motherfucking Minshew.
He has a manila folder with his zombie apocalypse plan ready to go, printed out on A11 paper.
Gets everybody in his bus. He just goes crashing through like Mall of America.
It's 25 pages of sick one-liners for after you kill a zombie and then one page on how to start a farm. That's all you get from him. I do like the idea that you so far Joey mentioned Sean McVay's home. Joe, you mentioned Gardner Minshew's bus. They're taking props with them. You get the whole crew.
I do have some questions later on in the draft of like what we get along with these players. We'll get to that though.
You get everything that's associated with them. Jail, I like your pick of Gardner Minshew. I'd be lying if I said he wasn't on my list here. He was on my list because he just screams good in a zombie apocalypse. Like he screams, I'd survive. I'd be there in season 7 or whatever show this is.
I'm also assuming that in the event of a zombie apocalypse, Simon, you, Tim, and I would all try to immediately form a group, a coalition. And so I imagine Tim and Gardner Minshew there together might create some sort of space-time continuum issue. Are we going to be good there?
That sucks all the zombies into it. Is that what we're going for?
Maybe.
Scampers in here saying Rodrigo Blankenship isn't a bad pick. In case his contacts get dry, he probably has some backup goggles. So you draft Blankenship just so you can steal his goggles when your contacts go dry.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Give me those. You send them out into a zombie apocalypse.
He's just your spare glasses case is what you're drafting there.
You're drafting Rodrigo Blankenship as a backpack.
Well, Mike, before we get into your pick, we had a question pop in here from Patty. Patty wants to know, should we trade away A.J. Brown and receive Deebo Samuel and Miles Sanders in return? Right now, he's got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Amari Cooper, Hollywood, and Tank Dell, and then Aaron Jones and James Conner at RB. Mike, if you had A.J. Brown, would you do this to get back Deebo and Miles Sanders?
I would. I want to double-check Deebo's injury. I know he showed up on the injury report yesterday. But I do think that A.J. Brown is really getting slightly overrated. And with the rise of Devonta Smith and the 1A, 1B situation they have going on right now, I'm not in love with A.J. Brown. And I think his name value is carrying him a little bit. Patty, I would check and see if you can get someone other than Deebo with IU coming back. But I love the idea right now of splitting A.J. Brown for a slightly lesser receiver and a running back like Miles Sanders, where I think better days are coming. So I love the idea of the trade. It's the Deebo injury and Ayuk thing that I'd see if I could maybe get a slightly better receiver, but the idea of the trade's great. If you can't do better, I'd take this one. I
like it. Jail, you agree here?
Yeah, the injury definitely throws a wrench in it. But otherwise, I don't know. I think I lean AJ Brown here. He's been decent, and he's been getting the targets. 10 targets week 1, 6 targets week 2, and then 14 targets the next week. I think this offense is going to just continue being good. Both of these offenses. I think I would keep A.J. Brown.
Man, it is close. I think I'm with Mike here on the Deebo Samuel and Miles Sanders side, just because Miles Sanders is worth more to me than the difference between a Deebo and an AJ, but this is super close. Mike, you are on the clock here. And Grim has some good news. All San Francisco receivers did practice today, just so we know. So Deebo and Ayuk getting out there on the practice field. Mike, with that news, will you be drafting one of them or somebody else here with the 3rd pick in the draft?
I am shocked that the 101 with the bullet is still sitting on the board. How can you go to a zombie apocalypse and not have someone who can beat them at their own game? Dan Campbell is going to go out there and eat zombies. Like that man is going to go at the zombie apocalypse head on. He's running in. He is going to pull a Leroy Jenkins, and he's running in by himself, yelling, Dan Campbell. And sure, he's going to be the first one to die, but he's taking 12 zombies with him. So I am Dan Campbell with the bullet, my 101, like no hesitation. I was smashing. I feel like the Vikings when Jay Larego went a pick before them. I'm giggling at y'all while I'm sitting here in the Hall of Fame zombie apocalypse man himself falls to my lap. Welcome to the team, Dan Campbell. Could not be happier with the first pick.
Somehow he escaped my list, and I'm sitting here thinking exactly what you played out, Mike. He's the reason you survived the first night. Dan Campbell is the reason your whole squad makes it through night 1. He's the motivation forever. You name your squad after him, and everybody does everything and stays alive for Dan Campbell, who kept you guys safe on night 1. Didn't die in vain. Man, we're always killing somebody in these drafts. Joey kills Larry Fitzgerald in the last one. Mike kills
Zombie
Dan
apocalypse.
Campbell in this one.
I will not apologize for killing anyone in this draft. This is a zombie apocalypse. People are going to die in this one.
You're
You're
asking
gonna have to
for
learn
it,
to live with
Larry.
it, people. Ugh.
All right. Well, Dan Campbell off the board. 3 of the first round picks in, and that means it is me. And Mike, I was so scared you were going to take my guy there. You had a great pick, but there was one man that I wanted. When I see this dude's eyes in the middle of a football game, I know that the zombie apocalypse is going to hit and he's going to start smiling. He's
Derek
been
Carr.
waiting for this moment. Not Derek Carr, but Derek Carr's former teammate, Max Crosby, is going to be my first overall pick. The way he attacks the quarterback and finds joy in it. You look at that man's face during any Raiders game, he's borderline giggling the entire time as he just murders opposing teams. He's going to go into the zombie apocalypse with like he's trying to get a high score, like he's trying to show up on the leaderboards. I need a guy with that kind of gusto. I'm taking my wild card, my jump into the fray guy with the first overall pick. I understand that maybe you want to get your leader early, but I'm not risking losing potentially what I view as the most valuable zombie killer in the NFL in Max Crosby.
Looks like we all got our 101.
We all got our guy. We had some questions here in the chat before I do my next pick. Smokey the Cat in here wanted to know, guys need help with this, and it may be a dumb question, but should I trade Elijah Mitchell for Breece Hall? John Luke, you're either pushing the accept button on your phone, which is hanging upside down by a string on the ceiling in front of you, or thumbs upping us. Which one is it?
Do this trade. Do this trade.
Yeah,
Let's
easy.
go.
Smash
I was
it.
gonna
Go
jam
do
it.
it now. Get off the show. Go do it and come back in case they change their mind.
Yep.
And we're only going to tell 3 secrets while you're gone, Smokey, so you won't miss that much, but they're going to be pretty good ones. Jacob wanted to know Dak or Goff this week. Mike, which quarterback you throwing out there?
Let me check the matchups real quick, but it's probably Goff because Dak has been so horrific this year and scares the heck out of me as a human being. But let me just check the matchups real quick.
Cowboys have the Patriots, and then the Lions are playing the Packers tonight.
Yeah, I knew the Lions playing the Packers, but no way I'm going Dak against the Pats. Those safeties on the Patriots have been unreal this year. Christian Gonzalez looks like the real thing. That defense is humming, specifically against the pass. There's no way I want anything to do with Dak. If anybody's going to put up numbers, it's going to be not Prescott. Excuse me. It's going to be Pollard, not Prescott this week. I'm staying away from Dak completely.
Joe, you going Goff here as well, or are you throwing Dak in?
Even though Jared Goff's not at home, I'm going to be playing Jared Goff over Dak.
Also, Mr. Scampers in here saying the difference is you killed Larry Fitzgerald in a rom-com, Joey.
It was not was it a rom-com?
No, it was a bank heist. It was a bank heist.
But bank guys don't have to kill somebody.
And they can be rom-coms.
And they can be
Technically.
wrong.
One more question in here from Unruly. He wants to know whether they should start Musgrave or Ferguson this week. Fergie, is that a new nickname for Ferguson that we're calling him? Joey, which of these tight ends are you throwing in?
I'm going to take Luke Musgrave.
Luke Musgrave, Mike, you agree?
Yeah, huge fade on Ferguson with those safeties not going near him this week. They shut down Dallas Goedert for 0 catches. Ferguson's not that guy.
And then, Joey, you are recused from this question as you are the opponent in this case. John Luke, would you start Jordan Love or Jared Goff against Joey in the Kings Classic League tonight?
This is tough. I think I'd go Goff, though, over Jordan Love. And the reason is the way I think this game is going to go. I think the Lions are going to get out ahead, and Packers are going to be playing catch-up throughout the game. So, yeah, I'd lean Goff. And
Joey likes Goff more, so it would probably hurt his feelings a little bit more to lose to Jared Goff. This is
the play. Beating me with Goff is like that's what you do.
If you have Samaje Perine, get him in your lineup as well. Damian Pierce, just all those guys. See if you can fit him into your lineup.
He does have Pierce. I believe he does have Pierce.
Go ahead and fire up your Pierce. Pierce is going off this week.
He's going to have a good week. I do like Damian Pierce this week. Yep.
Ooh, what do I want to do with my next pick here? I've got Max Crosby, who's going to be the physical attacker. But the problem with zombies is you can power your way through them all you want, but one bite and you're done. So you really need players that are elusive, that avoid getting touched, that avoid getting tackled, that aren't touched often before the tackle. So I'm going with last year's yards before contact leader, Justin Fields, as my next pick. Justin Fields had the most yards before contact out of all players. We've seen how elusive he is with the ball in his hands. And on top of that, he's a massive human being. So we've got the strength there in case we need it as well. But I'm mainly taking him for that elusiveness that he has and the leadership ability that I've seen from him.
Well, hopefully
Justin Fields is joining Max Crosby.
Whoever your leader is within your group, hopefully they let Justin Fields do what he does well, and they don't just try to make him do what he's not good at. That would probably help a lot.
So with my next pick, I draft Matt Eberflus. I'm just kidding.
So, Joe, you mean make him avoid zombies and not play football, which he's not very good at. Yeah. That's the smart move, is that find out what Justin Fields is good at, because it is not football. So I like this decision here. Maybe he's good at this. I don't know for certain, but we'll see.
Ouch. No Justin Fields love in here.
Hard to tell who's going to be good at a zombie apocalypse till you're in it.
Yeah, he could cry, or he could really step up. I think the big thing is we're really hard to measure mental ability here. Like, who's going to scream, who's going to freak out. So I do like Fields, but you left an alien on the board for me, and I was going to go in a direction that I think he's going to fall. So I'm going to take the alien here, though. I mean, because I don't know how, when you talk about elusiveness, power, everything, how we can get away from Micah Parsons as just being a freak of nature.
Off my list. Good pick.
Gotta love Parsons. You know he's going to be on the attack. You know he has everything you could want in this particular instance. He is like a superhero. So after Dan Campbell dies, I feel like Micah Parsons is going to be the guy who steps up as captain and rallies the troops. While I'm crying in the corner, Micah Parsons is going to be like, let's do it for Dan. And I'm going to say, good luck, guys. I'll be hiding in the burning trash barrel over here when you're ready. But Parsons is an absolute freak. Easy pick.
Parsons calls you a coward.
He does. And I say, you're right, Micah. Go win the day for me.
Don't hurt me.
I'm better alive, and I'm only alive in this corner. It's not
the only place I can be alive.
Nice pick, Micah Parsons. As soon as you said it, I'm a little bit sad right there. They are not liking my Justin Fields pick in the chat, Mike, so they are with you. Scott Fish saying Fields is 100% running away, avoiding zombies, and leaving Simon and Max behind.
Juking all the zombies gone.
And I'm like, that's why I drafted him.
Oh, shoot. Are you coming back?
All right. Well, JL, this puts you back on the clock.
Oh,
who's joining Gardner Minshew? Mike, your team so far. I'm just looking at Dan Campbell, Micah Parsons, and I want to join your team. I would feel so safe walking up like arm in arm with Micah Parsons on one side and Dan Campbell on the other. I'm not sure I could feel more like secure walking into any environment.
I feel like those two would have stockpiled all of the beef jerky in the like Tri-County area.
Disgusting.
I told you I spent way too much time on this side, and the second you sent me what it was, I went right into like rankings mode. Everyone had a job, everyone has a role. We have backup picks in case, but so far I have my 101 and 102, and I am not upset about that.
John Luke, you got your 101. Is your 102 still on the board, or has someone taken them already?
Why do I feel like Dan Campbell had stockpiled all of the beef jerky prior to the zombie apocalypse?
He has a bomb shelter with every kind of non-perishable you can imagine.
Guys.
He wasn't sure if they had beef jerky in Detroit.
So he brought it with them.
Yeah. I just need you to trust me, guys. I just need you to trust me. I've got it all.
I like beef jerky, man. All right.
Dan Campbell.
It's so regular, so much more regular than Leroy Jenkins. My next pick here, you guys talked about Dan Campbell and feeling safe riding into the zombie apocalypse. But I have a safer vehicle, and that's Derrick Henry. I'm drafting Derrick Henry. Gardner and I are going to piggyback onto Derrick Henry, and we're going to just run through all of these zombies. Zombies won't even have time to bite him, and if they do, they're getting stiff-armed down into the center of the earth. Derrick Henry, Gardner Minshew, me.
And that's what we've learned from zombie movies. As long as you're strong, you can punch them in the face. That's where they always punch them. The most dangerous spot to punch a zombie is where they always get punched, but no one ever gets bit from that. So I think you're right there, Jill, that you should be safe with a Derrick Henry stiff arm. I think he would be impervious to bites while stiff arm.
Perfect way to prevent a bite, because they go in and he just stiff arms their head down. They go straight down on the ground.
Boom! Eat dirt, zombie. I love the
He
idea.
says that every time, and it's so cool.
I love the idea of you with like a medieval style lance on the back of Derrick Henry, just zombie jousting.
Yeah. And Gardner and I, yeah.
Gardner's in a chariot, just making it happen. The stiff arm is a convincing argument there, John Luke. I like that pick, but the form Derrick Henry's has been in so far this season hasn't been great. Before we move on, I wanted to get your take on if you think there's better weeks ahead for Derrick Henry.
You asking me?
Yeah.
I think a lot of Derrick Henry's issues have been Tennessee Titans issues. That offense just has not looked functional by any means. So Derrick Henry, while in the past has been pretty much impervious to how bad the Titans are because they would just feed him, you got to adjust a bit here. His attempts are averaging around like 16 attempts per game. And so if they're able to bounce back after that Cleveland game, I think he'll be fine.
I tend to agree with you here, John Luke. And if you agree with JL, the line for Derrick Henry over on RT Sports Pick'em game is only at 13.5 fantasy points and 69.5 rushing yards against the Bengals this week. If you think he's primed for a comeback or set to disappoint again, you cannot choose whether or not you think he'd survive a zombie apocalypse, but you can go pick the more or less on his rushing yards for this week and win up to 40 times your cash if you get 6 other props right along with it. You should check out rtsports.com and their pick'em game now if you guys want to play along. With that being said, Joey.
Yep.
It is time for your next pick. You've got Sean McVay. Everyone else has 2 people on their team. Who's joining your team leader to help you make it through the apocalypse?
So there's a scary moment of any zombie movie where they run out of bullets. And when that happens, they have to switch to melee. So I'm going to take someone that was drafted into Major League Baseball because he's good with a bat. I'm going to take Russell Wilson. He was drafted by the Rockies in the 3rd round. The 4th round with the 140th pick. And Russell Wilson, he can still evade a little bit at his old age. And he's got Jesus on his side, so that's probably good in a zombie apocalypse.
Subway.
So yeah, I'm going to take Russell Wilson.
Drafted the Lord. With his
yeah. Mm-hmm. So Russell Wilson's my second pick.
You guys are going to kill him by the second week. Like the zombies aren't going to kill him.
Yeah.
You guys are going to kill him after he says, "Let's ride" for the 4,000th time.
We're not riding. We're resting right now, Russ. Okay.
We're out of gas, Russ. We can't ride anything.
And he does
it's an emergency. We have one
Derrick TikTok videos in the corner.
We had a Derrick Henry question come in here previously from Grim Fan before Joey makes his neck pit. Let me start that over
there, bud.
One moment. We had another question come in here from Grim Fan before Joey makes his next pick. He wants to know if he has to start 2 of Sucky Mixon, Sucky Henry, or reliable Zach Moss. Which 2 should he be starting in half PPR? Mike, you got to start 2 of these guys. Which 2 are you throwing in?
Can you imagine if we had said you were going to make this choice like 3 months ago, how much we would laugh? But no, I think that Henry's a definite against the Bengals. You have to ride against that defense. And Mixon finally looked like himself this past week. So I am actually going to sit Moss. As much as it pains me, he looks great. But having 2 studs with great matchups, that's who I'm going with. The Rams defense is meh, but Moss, we saw this last year, and he falls apart right when I start trusting him. So Grim Fan, maybe you should start him because this is the week I'm saying no. But I just can't. I can't put Moss ahead of those 2. The upside's way too high on the others.
Do you agree here, Joey? Are you rolling with Moss?
I don't mind starting Mixon. I know he's been sucky according to Grim Fan, but I'm good with Mixon. But I'll start Henry. I'm not going to be sitting Derrick Henry.
Well, guys, I see some more questions coming in. We are going to keep answering these throughout the show, but another reminder, we'll be live right after this on the Front Yard Fantasy YouTube channel for Fantasy Football Office Hours, where all John Luke and I will be doing is answering your questions. That's it. Maybe ripping a fart or 2. I did have quesadillas for lunch, but besides that, just answering your questions. Joey, you're back on the clock. You've got Sean McVay and Russell Wilson so far, a very West Coast zombie apocalypse team. Who's coming in next?
I give kudos to JL for taking Gardner Minshew because I do think he was kind of like that's the guy that would be in a zombie movie.
Declined.
What'd you say?
I decline your kudos. Don't need them.
No, well, okay, fine. I can't wait to see you
Take
die in the zombie apocalypse. Hopefully, Sean McVay finds a way to take you first.
I stiff arm your kudos to the dirt.
I want to take someone because my favorite part of a zombie movie is often the comic relief. I'm going to take someone that's going to entertain us, but also that I think would be like really good in a zombie apocalypse, and that's Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know what it is about him. I just think he would thrive.
Yeah, the oldest team I've ever seen, Joe.
That's fine. That's okay.
The only coach is your youngest teammate.
You know what? You're exactly right. We're old, but because we're so close to death, we're not afraid of it. So we're going to meet it head on.
And their brains are definitely fully developed. Everybody on that team is at least 26, so they have fully developed male brains.
And Fitzpatrick went to Harvard, so he's smart too. And then McVay they'll play chess. You can bring your board games over to us, Simon.
Okay. Yeah, me and Ryan Fitzpatrick will play board games whenever our teams end up combining. Joey's getting some smarts.
I really hope you take Matt Patricia next.
John Luke, you've got Gardner Minshew and Derrick Henry. Who are you adding to the squad?
Now it's tough. All right, I'm gonna go with the guy who Madden says has the strongest arm power in the NFL. I'm going with Josh Allen. He's just going to be able to pick off these zombies from afar. We're going to probably sit on top of a roof somewhere drinking beers. Gardner brought the 24-pack of Coors. We're going to be sitting up there in lawn chairs while Josh Allen just headshot zombies with his football.
Taking Josh Allen. I love the strong arm approach, JL, because like Joey mentioned, eventually you're going to run out of bullets and you need someone who can take care of things without him.
He can throw anything.
he can throw a football. He can throw a football or whatever else happens to be laying around. Maybe a football. I've never seen Josh Allen throw anything besides a football. So we are making assumptions here, but we know for sure he can throw footballs. We got Scott Fish, and you're saying great with Fitzpatrick on the team. You know the leader is getting injured, and Fitzpatrick will have to take over. Yeah, Sean McVay is going down at some point. Fitzpatrick is second in command, ready to step up. Wilson thinks it's him. Wilson thinks he's about to become leader, and then all of a sudden everybody starts asking Ryan Fitzpatrick what they do. He's like getting himself hyped up in the mirror, like, okay, this is your chance, Russ. This is your time.
It's your chance again.
Round 3.
Do it.
All right. Well, Mike, this puts you back on the clock for your third pick. Who are you taking?
Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited because I'm going to take a guy who not only provides comic relief, but he knows things. And I know this man knows things. He studies everything not football every day except for 1 p.m. on Sundays. And that is the man, the myth, the legend, Jamal Williams. That dude is watching anime. He's studying zombie apocalypse movies. You know he knows things. He is the most hilarious human being in the league. So he's going to bring people up after Dan Campbell pulls Leroy Jenkins and dies. Jamal Williams gets something wildly funny and appropriate. We're all going to forget it even happened. We're going to laugh. But somewhere along the way, he's going to have a superpower we don't know about that is going to come in handy. He's like that tool on like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, the question mark that you know you're going to have to use, but you're not sure what it is or when. Yeah, Jamal Williams is an enigma. And somehow he is going to open up the world for us that I'm not sure how yet, but I just know I need him on my team. So this is a complete blind faith pick. I wish I could have got JC on my team with Russell Wilson, but otherwise I'm going with the anime guy. We're going a different route here. And we're going to go with Jamal Williams. And I'm telling you, somehow he is going to be the hero of the show.
You're reuniting father and son with Dan Campbell and Jamal Williams.
You have to love it. You have to love it.
The storyline's all there for you.
Oh my God. Now, Mike, there's one potential problem I see here.
What's that?
Some anime, I'm sure, would properly prepare Jamal Williams to handle a zombie apocalypse in a way that would help you. I can't say for certain, but I would bet very real money that there's an anime that involves sexy zombies. I would bet there's an anime that involves people trying to sleep with sexy zombies. And I think there's a decent chance Jamal Williams has seen that one. And so while he might start out trying to kill him, after a couple weeks where most people out there are zombies, he might start getting some ideas, and that might be the end of him right there.
You're missing a perfect opportunity for a distraction for me to sneak by with the rest of the team.
To go
Jamal
where?
Williams, yeah, go. Oh, we're getting to that on the next pick, JL.
You're leaving your barrel of fire that you're your only safe place in the world to go where?
Oh, we have. I told you I studied. You just watch. I know you're picking out of thin air, and you did no prep for your own show, sir. But I did my homework, and you just trust me on this one.
I've been watching sexy zombie anime all day to prepare for this draft.
No one knows sexy anime better than I do.
My search history is a mess, but right now I know some things. I know what zombies like, and I know how I'm getting out of it.
All right, well, guys, before my next pick, we had a question in here from Val's. Val's wanted to know, should I trade Tyler Lockett and Tyler Algier for James Cook? They gave us their team there. The wide receivers that we're looking at are Tyler Lockett, Puka Nacua on the starting roster, Quentin Johnston, JSN on the bench. And then for running backs, they've got ETN, Montgomery, Algier, and P. Ryan. So, Mike, when looking at this, would you trade Lockett and Algier away for James Cook, who's off to a hot start?
No, I would not. I think Algier is fine as a fill-in with the team that you have, and Lockett's just so wildly underrated. There's no way with these receivers that you have. I see some questionable, possibly upside guys, but guys that aren't really producing at a high rate. So I'm keeping Lockett in this one.
Joe, you agree?
Yeah, this is tough. Cook, I'm bullish on, but I'm also a little bit hesitant. Like, is this production going to still continue to be consistent throughout the season? And so I'm hesitant to trade a bunch of your leverage over for James Cook. If you really need the running back, which looking at your running backs, it doesn't. I guess I don't know who your backups are. You might need that running back. No, I still wouldn't do it. I'd try and get somebody different if I were you.
I think I'm with you. I like the idea packaging Lockett and Algier, but I think you can get a little better than James Cook. I'm going to make my next pick here, and I see someone in the chat who has alluded to what I was going to do. I'm taking a man that is the definition of perseverance. Someone who came back from an injury that might be common, might happen in the zombie apocalypse, and is now a top 10 running back on the season. Carlos said it in the chat. I'm taking Brian Robinson Jr. with my next pick. He literally got shot last season, and he is a top 10 PPR running back this year. That's the kind of thing he just showed me in a zombie apocalypse. Emergency happens. Something goes down. People get injured. He's going to be the one who comes back and is still fighting for that spot, fighting for the team, ready to make it happen. Brian Robinson is joining Max Crosby and Justin Fields here.
Am I the only one who noticed that Simon will trust Brian Robinson in a zombie apocalypse, but not in his flex spot this week? And I find that wildly ironic and hilarious.
Yeah.
He's actually, like, I'm going Drake London, but if the zombies show up, flip it to Brian Robinson real quick.
Screw Drake London.
Okay, if this zombie apocalypse is in London, I switch it back to Drake London. But I'm assuming this is in my hometown. I guess we could travel to London, but the ocean might be a safe place during a zombie apocalypse. We're getting ahead of ourselves on this one.
So your whole hypothesis here, Simon, is that Brian Robinson, having gone through the experience of being shot at least once, can somehow cope with it better than everybody else the second time he gets shot in your zombie apocalypse scenario?
No, but I know that he can cope with it and come out the other side. Whereas most people, I don't know that. I have no evidence to believe that they could sustain a serious, scary injury like that and then come back stronger and better than ever. With Brian Robinson, he showed it to me, and so he's on the team. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not his fault that he got that audition. It happened to him. I'm sure other people are glad they haven't had that experience, but because of it, we know a little bit more about what Brian Robinson offers. With my next pick, we're going to need food, man. That's something that everybody here has been ignoring. And so we're going to need someone with a farming background. This guy is retired, but he literally grew up on a farm and spends a lot of his time on his family's farm in Kansas, growing wheat and raising cattle. Jordy Nelson is going to be my next pick.
That's a nice pick.
He's literally a farmer, and he's going to take care of food for all of us. Okay. He's going to make sure we got stuff to eat. Is what I'm getting.
I like it.
Brian Robinson and Jordy Nelson on the turn. This may be the only kind of draft where those two guys are drafted back to back in the year 2023. Mike, you're back on the clock. Who are you taking with your next pick?
Yeah, JL made a joke about this, but one of the things I know about a zombie apocalypse is that you don't actually win. You just survive and you eventually leave and start a civilization in a different spot. And you need a rocket scientist to do that. So joke all you want, JL, but Matt Patricia is coming onto the squad. A legitimate rocket scientist to get me. I need to know what the atmosphere is like. Can I breathe? Can we farm it? How do we get there? Matt Patricia is going to be sitting in the back because he's no leader, but he's going to be sitting behind the barrel of fire, drawing a schematic for our robot and our rocket ship to get out of there. We're going to have everything we need to leave the zombie apocalypse. So we're not surviving. We're thriving on whatever planet will take us. And Matt Patricia is providing the vehicle for that. So this is an easy pick for me. I actually considered him in the second round because I need to leave. What I need to do is get out of here. I am not built to survive long term. I don't even camp, guys. So I need to be out quickly. I am not a valuable asset here. So what I'm looking for is the guy who can get me out of there and start a new civilization. Give me Matt Patricia. And apparently Tim Wright as well, who's also a rocket scientist. Give me all the rocket scientists.
Tim's with me. Sorry, can't have him.
That's unfortunate. Well,
Man, Mike, you make a great point. What'll be way more comfortable than a world overrun by zombies is a completely uninhabited Earth that we know nothing about. That should be a lot less like camping.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think that far ahead. I'll be honest. I've read The Maze Runner because my kid was reading it for summer reading.
Hey, it's a good book.
Yeah. Well, the third one, that's what they do at the end. So I just figured that's what happens here. And so now I didn't think of building the civilization. Like I legit thought we were going to get dropped off like in an outberg or at a different planet. So I didn't think this far ahead. But here we are, and whatever. We'll figure it out when we get there. But the fact is, you got to leave. Like you can't stay. So that's my
Matt
goal.
Patricia's your best bet.
Matt Patricia is my only hope.
Yeah, that's scary. Matt Patricia. We're all just gonna watch the rocket get about 10 feet off the ground, and then I'll be standing around clapping, ready for the day that Team Mike gets off the planet. I'm so proud of you guys.
We're like 4 blocks away. I'm like, we didn't make it that far, guys.
John at the top. Dan Campbell
just screaming out the window. The rocket has a sunroof for some reason, and Dan Campbell's sticking his head out of it.
Oh my
God,
God!
Luke, you were back on the clock.
My next pick, I'm going with Justin Tucker. Him and Josh Allen are just going to be picking people off from the rooftop. I'm just adding people to my zombie Topgolf game.
You've got Josh Allen just pegging people with footballs, and Justin Tucker set up there with a tee.
Derrick Henry running in circles up there.
I'm just trying to look at Derrick Henry hanging out with these guys, being like, "What the hell am I doing here?"
Joe, you got to draft a ball boy, is what you got to draft after this. Someone to just retrieve all the weapons for your team.
Tyreek Hill goes right, just eating across the ground, picking up all the balls.
Yeah, you need a fast mofo to just pick up all the balls right there. All right, well, Joey, JL adding the foot sniper to his team. Who are you adding?
I feel like there are two things that my team needs. That's food and real estate. So I'm going to draft retired NFL quarterback and Hall of Famer Peyton Manning because he owns 31 Papa John's franchises. So we have real estate if we need to hide out somewhere. There are lots of Papa John's locations. We can jump from place to place if we need to. And then we've got food. So like it just seems obvious that I would take Peyton Manning. If he dies, he dies.
He has a master key to every Papa John's. Sure.
Who is supplying these Papa John's locations in your heads, Joey?
No, he owns them. He owns 31 of them.
Just because you own a restaurant doesn't mean that
He's got the keys to the building. He's got the keys.
Well, they got food at least until they run out. Know what I mean? Like these Papa John's got food in them for the first couple months to keep you going.
Yeah. So you tomato sauce lasts a long time.
You would think that Peyton Manning has like a key ring like your janitor had at your high school.
Yes.
With 31 Papa John's keys on.
My question to you is, do you think he doesn't? Because I think he does.
Here's my other question. Do you really think that there's a single Papa John's location in the country, even during a zombie apocalypse, where the manager would turn away Peyton Manning? He might as well own all of them. That dude can walk into any of them and be like, "Daddy's here. Give me some pizza."
Like if he walks in, people will be like, I think he owns this one. Like every Papa John's franchise is like, yeah, Peyton Manning owns us because they want that extra business. So I think you're right, Simon.
Mr. Scampers,
that's why I was taken in the 4th round. Yeah.
Mr. Scamper says he likes to draft Rob Walton and his $6 billion along with every Walmart. That's a great pick, Mr. Scampers.
We're not allowed to draft him, though. I wish.
Scott Fish coming in and saying Peyton Manning sold his 31 franchises in 2018.
Oh, no.
My 4th round pick is on the IR, apparently.
Scott said this is like your number 1 draft pick, tearing an ACL.
What a big whiff.
Joey, with your next pick, who are you taking?
Logic was there. Well, people are going to die in this zombie apocalypse, and that's very sad. So I need a big body for the zombies to munch on. I need someone that's really slow.
Who are you choosing to go down with the ship with you?
So I'm going to pick Orlando Brown, currently 363 pounds. He ran a 5.85 40-yard dash time, so he's really slow. He's really big, and the zombies will eat on him while my friends and I can get away.
God, I ran a 6-second 40-yard dash in Canton. We call him the pinnacle of slow, and he weighs near 400 pounds, and he could catch my ass.
I wanted to take Jared Goff because then his girlfriend would come along to repopulate the earth, but this is a family show.
And we're not repopulating anything.
Yeah.
Well, Orlando Brown wraps up Joey's team. Sean McVay, Russell Wilson, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Peyton Manning, and Orlando Brown. Team Boomer is what we got going on.
I don't care. I love my team. We're going to hang out with our ARP discounts. We're going to live it up.
that don't apply anymore.
It doesn't matter, JL. We're happy. We have our rocking chairs. We're on the porch. And we're happy. Complaining, but happy.
JL's got Minshew, a tank, and 2 snipers. Who are you adding to your team to join those guys?
Well, we need somebody to sacrifice. We need somebody because someone's got to die. Someone's got to die for the story. And so we're getting Kirk Cousins. We're bringing Kirk along, and we're just patting him on the head the whole time. We're like, yep, you belong here, Kirk. And then the minute we have the opportunity, we're pushing him off the roof.
He's the sacrifice to get away.
Yep.
He's the one you punch in the bunch. Now, the one problem there is I think Joey had a good point. I'm not sure how long they're going to be distracted by Kirk Cousins. He looked pretty lean there in that QB series.
The Cousins pick is really good because isn't he a hunter as well? Like he likes hunting. So he's good with a gun.
Maybe he's just like you're just not expecting it. He just turns out to be like an ace.
Yeah, no, like that. I'm very confident that I've seen like a story about Kirk Cousins like killing a Bengal tiger in a zoo or something, like or went on a safari. I don't know one of the two.
Joe, you push Kirk Cousins off the roof, but he doesn't die. And months later, he comes back to seek revenge on your entire team. He's got eye black under his eyes. He's covered in dirt and concrete dust.
I have to watch
scouring through the jungle. He's got a dagger and a gun that he stole, and he's breaking into your shelter. You like that? And he's taking you guys down.
Kirk Cousins just went full Rambo somehow in your head. He didn't strike me as the Rambo type, but here we are.
Takes my entire team out.
Zombie apocalypses do something to somebody. Mike, your last pick. Who are you taking here?
Oh, this one's easy. So my goal of the zombie apocalypse is, I don't care anything about my team. It's about self-protection. My goal is to get out of this alive. I am the prize. I am the important person on my team. So I am going to draft the best protector I could think of in Trent Williams. He is going to stand in front of my trash barrel, and he is going to make sure nobody gets near me. This guy has not allowed a pressure in like 17 years. So I have a feeling that he's going to keep me clean the whole time. And that's all I care about. Dan Campbell's running into the party. Micah Parsons throwing shit around. Jamal Williams is apparently impregnating zombies. Matt Patricia is building a rocket that's not going to take off. But Trent Williams is going to guarantee that nobody gets near me. This was an easy pick. I had him on my board at like 106, but I saw you were going a totally different direction because y'all clearly know nothing about self-preservation. So give me the best protector in the NFL. That's Trent Williams.
What are you bringing to the table, Mike? Why is Trent protecting you with his
life? Because I'm running things. In case you didn't know, I'm the top on the list. If you see the top name on the list, that is who you protect. I'm Katniss, okay? I am Katniss. I am the one who somehow is going to save the world. And Trent Williams is tasked to protect me. So he's my Tina.
I feel like Mike, you probably be a cardiovascular surgeon in this scenario because I feel like all 5 of your guys are going to need one at some point in their lives.
I'm sorry,
Those are all really big guys.
Your guys are like 3 years from the grave, all of them. So
Well,
we'll try to help them out too if we can.
Joey's role is as nurse. Mike is a cardiovascular surgeon. JL, I don't know what the hell your role is on that team.
Roof cleaner.
Roof cleaner. You're the damn ball boy running around getting the balls back to those guys.
He's the holder apparently for Tucker.
I got the binoculars. I'm counting zombies.
All right, well, guys, I waited until the last round to take my leader and to take my comic relief. In a zombie apocalypse, I feel like being in open space is very important. And there's one coach in the NFL that has shown, especially this year, he's the best at getting his players into open space. And he's funny. He's going to keep me from being completely depressed while we're here. I'll take Mike McDaniel as my final pick to lead the team, call the plays, for lack of a better word. He's going to be running the offensive system for us as we're going into battle against these zombies, and he's going to make me giggle on a daily basis.
Be vaping all through the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Me and Mike McDaniel are just going to
vape pens.
We're going to be going on missions to find jewel pods across the country. Like, we're out. I heard they got mango jewel pods in Phoenix.
Indianapolis is Jewel Zero.
Our entire crew just travels the country looking for mango jewel pods.
I just want McDaniel try to rap battle some zombies. That'll take him out. He goes full 8 Mile on the zombies. I'm like, wrong movie, bro. Wrong movie.
No, this is a zombie movie, Mike. Zombies. Oh, my bad. My bad. Well, guys, here are our zombie apocalypse NFL teams. Joey's got Sean McVay, Russell Wilson, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Peyton Manning, and Orlando Brown. JL with Gardner Minshew, Derrick Henry, Josh Allen, Justin Tucker, and Kirk Cousins. Mike's rolling in with Dan Campbell, Micah Parsons, Jamal Williams, Matt Patricia, and Trent Williams. And I'm rolling out there with Max Crosby, Justin Fields, Brian Robinson Jr., Jordy Nelson, and Mike McDaniel. We'll put this up on Twitter and in our Discord for you guys to vote. Tell us who you think would survive the longest in this zombie apocalypse. But that is going to be it for us today. Mike, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come and do this very important draft in week 4 of this NFL season.
Yeah, this is huge. I think this is really going to help your listeners out a ton. So I'm happy to be a part of it. Thanks for the invite, Simon and Joey.
Anytime.
Always a pleasure hanging out with you guys.
Nice. Always a pleasure to hang out with
you
as well, Mike. Everybody watching, if you are not already following our friend Mike, go and follow him on Twitter at Daddy's Home FF. And Daddy is in home. Or don't, as JL would recommend. But choose who you like better. Choose who's more handsome, and then follow one or the other on Twitter.
And then tell the other one.
That's the real zombie apocalypse.
Block the other.
Yeah.
Just dread.
All right, well, guys, that is going to be it for us for now, but we will be live in about 5 minutes, as long as it takes JL and I to use the restroom and wash our hands because we have personal hygiene. Before we're back for Fantasy Football Office Hours on the Front Yard Fantasy YouTube channel, answering any and all of your questions that we didn't get to today during the show. Mike, thank you so much again, my friend. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming by, and we'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. Adios, everyone.
Bye.